When Mom and Chris walked through my front door, I was on a client call. No warning, no courtesy, just a sudden knock that turned my world upside down. The door opened and there she was. Mom, arms crossed, eyes flicking over my living room like she was appraising a property. She ran her fingers along my coffee table, almost reverently. "You've turned this place into a luxury apartment, haven't you?" she said, her tone a mix of pride and something else that I couldn't quite place. Chris was sprawled on the couch, thumbs dancing over his phone, not even looking up. He shrugged. "Yeah, it's pretty good, right?" I had never imagined my parents would show up unannounced, let alone with that kind of attitude. I'd been living solo for years, juggling 2 part-time jobs, pulling up on the dean's list every semester. Scholarships, student loans, late nights. My tuition paid off, my room went from cramped to a studio with a balcony view of the city. Now, a senior consultant at a tech firm, I had a 6-figure paycheck, a place I could call my own, and still the same family drama. It all began when I was a kid. Mom stayed home, raising me while Dad set up a modest savings account. The money disappeared into medical bills and emergencies. Mom, ever generous, sent Chris to a pricey music academy. He left after 3 weeks because the environment wasn't right. The tuition cost more than my first year of college. I worked, I studied, I survived. Chris stayed home, living rent-free, splurging on a gaming setup and a short-lived sports blogging venture. Fast forward 10 years. I'm making 6-figure consulting gigs, paying off loans, finally owning a place that feels like mine. Chris is still at home, chasing the latest influencer trend, trying to become a fitness guru. He texts me about investment ideas. Mom calls, always reminding me that successful children should support their parents. I knew something was coming. The doorbell rang and I answered, expecting a neighbor or a delivery. Instead, I saw Mom's familiar smile and Chris's casual grin. She flicked her eyes over the apartment, as if she were appraising a property. "Nice setup you got here," she said, as if I had just won an award. "You've done well, kiddo." She didn't wait for an invitation. Chris, without a word, flopped onto the couch, pulled out his phone and began scrolling. The room felt suddenly too small, the space too personal. I could feel the tension rise like a pressure cooker. I set my phone aside, let my client finish, and faced the 2 people who had the right to be here. "Mom, Chris, I'm glad you're here, but I need you to respect my space." I kept my voice calm, my eyes steady. "I've built this place for myself. I'm not asking for help, but I do need a conversation." She laughed a little too loud and said, "You're always so independent. You've got your life together." I could hear the underlying pressure. "That's good, Mom, but I'm also a parent. I need to know I can set boundaries." Chris looked up, a smirk on his face. "What's the point? We're just checking out the new digs." He was ready to argue, but I held my ground. "If you're going to show up unannounced, at least give me a heads up. And if you're going to bring Mom's expectations, we can talk about them. But right now I'm busy. Let me finish this call and we'll talk later." She sighed, a mixture of resignation and relief. "Okay, I understand. I just wanted to see how you were doing." I nodded. "I'm doing fine. Let's not make it a habit." She nodded back and she left, leaving Chris alone on the couch. After she left, I turned to him. "Chris, we need to talk." He didn't look up from his phone. "I'm trying to figure out what to do next. I need money, but I don't want to rely on Mom or my brother. I'm tired of living at home." I could feel the frustration in his voice. "I've worked hard, Mom, and I've earned my success. I'm not asking for charity. I want to be independent like you did." He sighed, a genuine sound, and finally said, "You're right. I've been living in your shadow, and it's not fair to either of us. I need to step up." We sat in silence for a moment, the weight of years settling between us. Then he added, "Maybe we can set up a budget, share some tips, but not as a handout, just as partners." I nodded. "That sounds fair." We both felt a new kind of respect, a boundary set, and the promise of a future where we could support each other without overstepping. The conversation was the first step toward a healthier dynamic, and I knew it would be a long road, but at least we were on it together.